Live it.
Ain't nobody on my level. Get the fuck out of here. That's that real shit. G-Law. Yeah. Come on. All my gang like soldiers. Put your hands up.
Oh, I guess I'll clean that up later.
Got no time to learn how to spell. Selling drugs, only thing we really good at, only thing in which we excel. I just rolled a handful of rocks, now I'm fuck. But at least I ain't in jail. Lord
It's the
knows
jacket,
time,
man. It's big and
post
fluffy.
no bail. Got a chest full of sins, guaranteed to go to hell. Lost my soul somewhere down the line. Fuck it, they ain't worth the time trying to find. This nigga got me feeling bulletproof. The little voice in my head like
I dare him to shoot.
You wanna box with me?
You better tie up your shoes.
Where I'm from, there ain't no fucking rules. Split his throat,
Take his jewels.
in the hood, they still dying.
Crack dealer still supplying.
And then you can still hear the sound. Babies are crying and daddies can't be there. Some were even locked up before they was born. Never even held their own child in there. Oh, it's sad to see our seeds weaving the definition of coming apart. Got me wondering where the fuck is gone. I forgot to forget. And still I remember like today was yesterday. Sipping blood,
This was Alizé.
This me and Mary J. Singing it gon' be okay. It gon' be okay. Yeah, it gon' be alright. You said you need
Eyes to drive. Too drunk, too high. For anything. Air 'em out.
Cause you can tell me anything. Kick you what you want, help to beg your girlfriend. But where I let myself up, just like let myself in. Mainly all my exes in therapy.
Come to the conclusion that there's definitely something wrong with me.
God bless the child, he can hold his own. Hit the block, make 100, grab the mobile phone. Another broken stone, best to leave him alone. You wanna know how I feel? Middle finger up like fuck the world, and I ain't stop until I'm gone. My heart full of hate, wish it was just God. Got blood in my eyes, and you fucking up my eye. When it's my turn to go, I know my soul gon' fry. Know my soul gon' fry. Know my soul gon' fry. Yeah.
Meet me on 6 around 6 on the 6. Got a bone to pick. Every thought in my dome is sick. Bullets barely miss. My enemies can't hit their targets.
I ain't wanna do it, I gotta do it. Wish you could look inside my mind and see what I've been doing. Once again, I let it G up to no good. Since I was a little hood, breaking windows in the hood. All grown now, but I wish a motherfucker would. Cause I just wanna hit something till it bleeds. From pressure on its lungs till it struggles to breathe. This days the cousin of death, so I avoid sleep. Before a break, bitch, I told you I ain't wanna hear a beat. Still feel the urge to scream.
I don't do this right, it's a waste of time, it ain't gonna work.
I ain't come to hurt nobody, I just want the money. I'm trying to fill hungry tummies. What's the rest do? I truly don't see no other way. Guess I'll be a gangster until the grave, but that's okay. Yeah, I tried to kill myself,
it didn't work.
Hold the trigger at my dome, the other guy spit the bullet out. You can tell there's something not quite right with me. That's why I keep a weapon right here.
Well, I should have counted them anyway.
It's the whole world versus me. They all love to get me, especially my homies. It's like I'm driving blindfolded.
There's at least 13. No, there's at least 15. Well, I don't give a shit. Last time since I've been innocent. Or whatever. You what he wanted to be. Right after he made his first 80 Gs.
You wanna take something from him? You want the poet squeeze. Learn from the OGs. Got to the top dogs, like with the shoes on. But I'm safe, cause ain't no priest that gon' save me. Trust me, you can lose the door in the heartbeat. Probably why his mama had a lot of late nights, a lot of sleep. Victim of a boy's dream. Be like poison running through his veins. Mistakes made, things forever change. Now that once he once loved, don't recognize his face. It's funny how it happens, but he ain't laughing. Truth is, his heart full of sadness. That's it,
Murder on the beat.
Motherfucker. I dare motherfucker try to talk my shit. Ain't nobody on my level. Get the fuck out of here. That's that real shit. G-Law. On the ride.
Leave them there to bleed.
Till they bury me. All that talking on your breath, they scaring me. You keep on pushing me, it's like you carry me. Like
Ain't much for the work.
Used to skip class to make cash. It's the one I never passed. Teacher always talking about something I don't really care about. You see, when I'm done,
that wasn't supposed to happen.
And sometimes home ain't the place you wanna go. When a crowded room, I feel alone. He wants his mother to die in his arms. And then they wonder why he acts all the causes of this harm. It was even betting against me back then. I was never supposed to be shit. Listen to be locked up or dead. Tell me how am I alive?
If you aiming at my head, get the fuck out of here. Y'all ain't hitting shit.
I was born for a greater purpose. Because of that, I know I make you nervous. Careful, there's a demon lurking underneath the surface. I do this in the memory of my dog dead and deceased. Every scar, every tattoo, he's something to me. Yeah. I'm a ride till they bury me. All that talking on your breath, they scaring me. You keep on pushing me, it's like you carry me. Like I won't pop, 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 pop. Leave them there to bleed. Ride till they bury me. All that talking on your breath, they scaring me. You keep on pushing me, it's like you carry me. Like I won't
Not by the hairs on my skinny chin.
Ain't no one stop this shit. 2014, that right now. 2014. Good, motherfucker. Yeah. Can't fuck with this shit. Can't fuck with this. I ain't getting bail, so I run till they catch me. I ain't scared of
Yo, so you have to dead me.
Before I ever stop, I'm a giant in the fast lane. Get your toes
the fuck out the way. Stomping on everything.
The cocaine and that, way less till I'm on triple back. Fucking with you, think I'm playing boy. Got killers across the country, just waiting for the order. Got the product from across the border. Your guns on their way, mine on standby. Send my condolences, yeah.
Heard your man died.
Got that good.
If you're trying to get high, just follow my lead and you'll be just fine.
Yeah, I came from a place where it's easy to lose faith. Had to learn the hard way, the only way, all day long. Had to earn these scars just to write this song. I work for the great nigga once the music stops. No time to wish upon a star. Maybe one of my enemies feeling great today. Thinking about coming off, survival at no cost. Whatever it takes, I should have them in my state. No room for error,
no room for mistakes.
I'm a ride till they bury me. All that talking on your breath, they scaring me. You keep on pushing me, it's like you carry me. Like I won't pop, 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 pop. Leave them there to bleed. Ride till they bury me. All that talking on your breath, they scaring me. You keep on pushing me, it's like you carry me. Like I won't pop, 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 pop. Leave them there to bleed. Hunger driving my motivation, no tolerance for the short of patience. Get gold and not collect money. It's the shit that got me dreaming robberies. When Pops left, it was Pops that bothered me. Got a problem, load the weapon, that's how you solve it, that's what it taught to me. And it's hard, I face don't bother me. Put me in the direction where the bottom be. It's just how I was born to be. Some come to this world with diamonds and pearls, some come to poverty. But no one that teaches right and wrong, how could you say that we wrong? This is all we know, so gotta be right. No niggas left, but it's all we got left.
So I keep the weapon right here with me. Look, I'll take your damn eye out, eh? I don't fuck around, eh? Point me out to the police that way, huh? Can you see that man in the courtroom today? I can't see shit. He took my damn eyes out. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. You got one eye, you can't have a driver's license. You don't have a driver's license, you can't be a police officer here. So you really want to fuck around. You want to take niggas' eyes out, act like he's something. All right, eh? I'm 6 foot and Scottish too, bitch. But you ain't. So under our rules, you can't be a police officer in Toronto. So, I see the blue to left eye and that bitch with the pickle style and all that shit. I see you. I see through you. So come find me. There's a couple different type of gangbangers, eh? Like, we got these sneaky motherfuckers, we don't know where they are ever. We got people like me that never hide. Why the fuck would I hide? Everybody knows who the fuck I am. Everybody knows where approximately they think they're gonna see me. They don't realize I get around. I don't see you people in my block. I don't see you on my block, Mr. Officer, Mr. FBI, Mr. Officer. Tell me why you want to put me in that officer. I'm going to take your eye out because I got the clout. Shut your damn mouth. Everybody get the fuck out of the fucking way. We getting paid. This is where we stay. I put you more. It's kind of like getting laid. Oh, what was that?
Just another day around the way. My homie just got released about the case. Already got that look in his eyes telling me you won't be long till he back again. And it's a fucked up world that we live in. I swear when I close my eyes, I can hear the tears of my children. So in my seats, but it
by the code of the streets, this is the life of a G.
Something that I never want you to see. I'm watching angels and demons fighting over me. Yeah, the witness gets to keep my soul hurt.
That's what you're wrong, kid.
Struggle with life. All I know is around here it gets cold at night. There ain't no food in the fridge. Mama doesn't get paid this week. Yeah, yelling again, so it's kind of hard to sleep.
How do you think the man that sells you the breakfast is God, but you going to hell? That don't make no sense. You niggas think backwards, bitch. Pass it to my dead homie.
Spend a lot of time talking to myself like you're still here. Only thing I can do is pour my liquor on and send you my prayers.
VIP, CIP, everybody knows what we do. Running the fucking station. PTL, TN, control the neighborhood. It's all good. From the hoods to the woods. Yeah. Burning that thing. Busting this thing. I didn't die today. Yeah, gunshots on these blocks. Give me what you got. When I go bury me in my gang colors. The next tombstone that they cover me wrong. Cause I'm a place to play. For some reason, even though the sunshine over here it still rains. Lord, forgive me for my evil ways. I fear I'll never change. I'll always be this way. For some reason, we just gotta learn the hard way. Me, I pump packs, self-curb the wrong way. I be repping for my city every day, all day. From your black flag up, if you feel me. It's gang life, motherfucker, till they kill me. Kill me. Kill me. And we just about at the end of that.
Just another day living in the hood. Just another day around the way. Good today. I didn't die today. It's just another day living in the hood. Just another day around the way. Good today. Let's see this day. Yeah. Yeah, I'm parachuting with money popping my collar on that hood shit. Fresh out of jail, straight to the dollars. Got a good connect, he never ate. Open the product, hit the block and watch the money rise. Bread in the oven, pockets full of stuffing. Never catch me clubbing, but I ain't show the money, then the hoes come running.
How you? I don't understand how you sell cocaine, but you only get it from one person. Man. Everything I get my hands on, I get from like 6 different people. There's never a day I can't find what I need, man. Damn, almost lost those. When I got
my jail days was the worst days. Sipping
water down juice on your Thursday.
Real top is 3.5 for them. That's 1,276 mornings when my baby mama was out home and telling me stories. They like who your baby daddy is. Better call Maury. Used to roll up at your mama's with a bag full of Tonys and a pocket full of money. Not the kind that she would loan me. Nah, sick as kid rapping still. Like someone called it down because the rap is ill. Here, take another pill.
You know what these is for, nigga?
I've been on my A game. Shit never lacked the skill. Real top. Yeah, it's that gang like shit. Homeboy, I'm from the same side.
When they walk up, but they might drive by.
Yeah, I'm saying hi, cause today I might die. My homie doing robberies,
trying to feed his kids. That now you don't do shit.
I live in a cold moment. Fuck yesterday, tomorrow, bring it some pain. Yeah, my other homie.
You're a parole violator.
I'll
fucking take you apart with this, homeboy. I'm gonna wait till it gets rusty though. I ain't cleaning it either. You think I'm playing games, eh? What you doing with empty cans in your pocket? I'm just taking them to the recycling officer. The keys to my success, nigga. Let's see if there's any fucking news at all today. I doubt it.
Maybe we're not in such bad shape after all. For complete coverage of tomorrow's Remembrance Day ceremonies, please visit our website at citynews.ca. For City News, I'm TVS Jenny. They're discriminatory and offensive. That's what the president of Sportsnet is saying as he apologizes for controversial comments made by Don Cherry. 680's Monica Gould reports that longtime hockey commentator sparked public outcry last night after accusing immigrants of not wearing poppies ahead of Remembrance Day.
Sportsnet President Bart Yabsley issuing a statement this morning apologizing for Cherry's divisive remarks, saying they don't represent the values of the network. He adds Cherry has been spoken to about the severity of the issue. The comments during Coach's Corner saw Cherry complain that he's seeing less people wear poppies.
Now you go to the small cities, and you know the roads unrolled. You people love you. They come here, whatever it is.
He then went on to single out immigrants as saying they enjoy our way of life, and the least they could do is buy a poppy.
Immigrants made those poppies, asshole.
Comments with hashtag Fire Don Cherry and Don Cherry Must Go trending on social media. Sportsnet
and who you talking about? Immigrants, white boy.
Of this radio station, I'm Monica Gould.
Meantime, Ron McLean is breaking
his silence
on Don Cherry's controversial comments.
We the real Dons.
The co-host taking to Twitter to say he sincerely apologizes to viewers and Canadians. McLean saying Cherry made comments that were hurtful and prejudiced, and he wishes he had handled himself differently.
Last night was a really great lesson to Don and me. We were wrong. And I sincerely apologize, and I wanted to thank you for calling me and Don on that last night.
He goes on to call it a divisive moment, and when he is truly upset, he let go by unchecked. Don Cherry, meantime, has not apologized.
680 News Time, 8:38. Commuters in San Francisco are staging an eat-in to protest the restrictive food policy of the Bay Area rapid transit system.
Steve Foster was detained and handcuffed last week for eating a sandwich on a BART platform. He was not arrested, but did receive a citation.
Detained is arrested. It means the same thing.
Law prohibits
like retarded, detained, arrested, all means the same thing.
But one of the people who took part in Saturday's protest...
There is no legal definition between arrested and detained. You've been stopped, period. Once you've been arrested, up here anyway, they got 24 hours to file a charge. Are you arrested or detained?
View the video of Foster's citation. Full video shows that he did insult the officer and used a homophobic slur. Brian
fucking homo, faggot, dick sucker, dick sucker.
While shopping for clothes in Richmond, British Columbia, as 680's Lauren Boothby reports, a woman says it happened when she was shopping at the Ironwood Plaza.
Sherry Willis was shopping for a new work wardrobe at Reedman's on Thursday when she says an employee approached her and said she shouldn't buy it. That's when she apparently made some disparaging comments about her appearance, saying she had a big butt and big size.
They had some other like dresses and such that were on display. So I was looking at them, and one of the sales associates, she walked over to me and said, "Oh, I don't think you would fit that."
When Willis told another employee what happened, she apparently told her to lighten up, but it wasn't funny to her.
"I didn't do anything to you. I didn't say anything mean to you, but you just made me feel like a monster."
I'm Laura Boothby.
Still to come on 680 News, traffic and weather together on the ones. 680 News Time, 8:39.
It's never been easier to buy Israel bonds. You can now buy Israel bonds online. Israel bonds are currently paying fixed rates as high as 3.65% with semi-annual interest income. Enhance, diversify, and grow your investment portfolio with Israel bonds. Israel bonds are sold in Canada by Canada Israel Securities Limited. Rates as high as 3.65% are available until November 15th. Conditions apply. Call 1-866-543-3351. To see all rates and buy Israel bonds online, start at israelbonds.ca.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price of gas will not change at midnight, holding at $1.16.9 a litre at most GTA stations. 680 News Time, 8:40.
All we said was William Ashley and...
The William Ashley Warehouse Sale is finally here. I love the William Ashley Warehouse Sale. 20 departments, 25,000 square feet. It's Toronto's most iconic warehouse sale. Come on, let's go.
You can't have this much fun shopping online. The 44th annual William Ashley Warehouse Sale returns with up to 90% off tableware, kitchenware, and home decor by all the famous brands you know and love from William Ashley. Sale on now. 111 Credit Road, Highway 400 in Langstaff.
Hey, what's up?
I think it's funny. If you say Bati Boy, they're not allowed to censor it. It's a different language. If you say homo, they're all over it.
You know the Chicago series, right? Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD. Well, it's one of the biggest franchises in TV right now, and it's all on one night.
You can fuck what you say. You can all fuck
So
up.
do what you got to do to clear your schedule and settle in for the best
We're
drama
gonna
night of
protest
the week.
Suicide Jones.
Chicago
Suicide
Wednesdays
Jones is
starting
gonna
at
cut
8,
your
7
fucking
Central,
throat, eh?
only on City TV.
680 News Time, 8:41. Now time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Mazda Canada. All our problems are on the southbound 427 and also the westbound 401 ramp onto the 427 and the eastbound 401 ramps onto the southbound 427. We have a crash on the south 427 just south of the 401. It's blocking the two left lanes now. We have everyone on scene, emergency crews, tows, MTO. They're all trying to clean it up. It's backed up onto the westbound 401 ramp onto the southbound 427. Eastbound 401 ramp is also slow as you join. A traffic spotter letting me know if you stick to the right lanes as you merge onto the southbound 427 from either direction on the 401, just stick off to the right side. He got through in about 30 seconds. He says the natural tendency is if you're familiar with this area, you want to merge over to the left lanes, stick off to the right side, and you'll be Bob's your uncle, I guess, getting through this problem. We have construction up farther on the southbound 427 before this problem. So Derry, the right lane's blocked, so the Derry ramps onto the highway, those are closed tonight, and the Rexdale ramps to the northbound 427 also shut down. The construction on the northbound 400 at Mapleview, left lane blocked, but no delays. Still slow on the westbound 401 right now from approaching James Snow to west of 25. The 7-passenger Mazda CX-9 is Ajax's best large utility vehicle in Canada for a second year in a row. Book a test drive at Mazda.ca. Your next report is at 8:51. And with the forecast, here's Michelle Mackey.
Heading out for a Sunday night stroll, grab the winter gear. Temperatures below freezing and scattered flurries. Monday, the high -2 and snowfall warnings are in place. Oakville, Burlington, Hamilton, and Niagara with the winter weather travel advisory for Toronto. 10 to 20 centimeters looks to cover the GTA. Arctic air sets in Tuesday with a high of -4, feeling like -11, and lake effect snow squalls for the afternoon in cottage country. Tonight's overnight low is -3.
Right now in downtown Toronto, light rain, 4 degrees, and at Pearson Airport, rainy, and 3. Still to come on 680 News, researchers say that getting high might help those suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. 680 News Time, 8:43.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate.
Well, I can't take that much longer.
Donate online at carsforkids.ca. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll benefit a child and get a maximum tax credit.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car.
Also accepting boats, motorcycles, RVs, and truck donations.
As an interior designer, I know that the more unique the space, the more creative you can be. That's why I love the Designer Suite collection at King's Landing in Central North York. These unique layouts are big on style, with endless possibilities and flexibility. Come see the showcase of
Body found and burnt out car in Scarborough.
$1,000 decorating
Pickering
allowance
shooting victim may be connected to Scarborough shooting. There's a bunch of shit here. We ain't talking about none of this on there.
To learn more.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
Light rain and 4 degrees in downtown Toronto. Good evening. From the 680 News Broadcast Center, I'm Eden Deveva, and here are the top stories this hour. Environment Canada has put out a winter weather advisory for the city, warning that Monday is going to be a cold and slippery one. Snow is expected to start falling early tomorrow morning, with up to 15 centimeters accumulating by the evening. And Monday is Remembrance Day, and many are taking the time to pay their respects to those who serve across the country. Right here in Toronto, Prospect Cemetery will be holding a sunrise ceremony for fallen soldiers in the city's West End, and a moment of silence will be observed outside of Old City Hall and on all TTC vehicles at 11:11 a.m. And coming up after sports, details on a visual health for a newborn baby found in a back alley recycling bin. 680 News Time, 8:45.
Kill somebody, eh?
Now 680 Sports from Sportsnet. I'm Nadia the Fan. Here's Colin Teskey.
Eden, things turned ugly for the Maple Leafs in the first in Chicago.
Oh, sorry, we can't listen to Sportsnet right now. You employed Don Cherry, a retarded fucking immigrant. Mbati boy gone burn in hell. Cause we the Dons, we gonna lay it down, eh? Pop you like a fucking fruit, eh? You fucking basket case. He's 85. Get him the fuck out of there. He doesn't know who the fucking immigrant is, eh? Our milk and honey. Where'd that come from? We didn't have cows out there. These guys paid for your way of life that you enjoy in Canada. These guys paid the biggest price. Moron, how many of these people are refugees from those wars? They don't want to think about it. You're literally trying to traumatize them with genocide, and you think you're a good person, eh? Yeah, you go all the way to France to visit graves of Canadian soldiers, not the others, just the Canadians. And you fucking, the First World War, that was a joke. And fucking, you can't help the homeless fucking panhandling veterans out there. Why you think we rolled them into the crew, eh? You ain't doing nothing for them.
Today's showstopper.
That highlights another issue we got here. Immigrants that hate the immigrants that come after them. We have that here. It's a strange type of racism and prejudice, but it exists. People that, what the fuck did you just do? Can you fucking like just do what I'm telling you to instead of what you want to do? I'm pretty sure I bought you and I own you. Oh, wait, can't do that. Oh. I'll read these stories in a second. Give me a second. Like 2 shootings and a burnt out car and a SIU investigation or something. Hashtag Don Cherry is an immigrant. Why the fuck you keep doing that? Like, again, why you keep doing that? I can't post it here, you fucking piece of crap. Come on, function. Moron. I don't know which order to read these in. Let's start with Scarborough. No, let's start with Brampton. B-town to downtown. Brown town to SIU investigating Brampton incident involving Peel police. The province's Special Investigations Unit has been called in to look into an early morning incident involving Peel Regional Police. Yeah, fuck you, Peel. I know you a bunch of badasses. Come down here and pull that thug and shit in this box. Nigga, you can get fucked up. Oh, you're a cop, eh? I'm a fucking military police. I give a fuck about you municipal employees. You ain't even a municipality or a region. You ain't even got enough people to incorporate as a city, eh? Police say they were called to a home in the area of Montjoy Crescent and Maitland Street in Brampton just before 2:30 a.m. for what is being described as a disturbance. Upon arriving at the home, police say there was, quote, an interaction with an adult male, end quote, but would not give any further details as to the nature of the interaction. As a result of this interaction, SIU has been notified, police said in a tweet. Further updates will be provided as they become available. The SIU is an arm's-length agency, that investigates reports involving police where there's been death, serious injury, or allegations of sexual assault. In a separate incident, police said they were called to the area of Rathburn Road and Meadows Boulevard. The fuck did you come from? In Meadows Boulevard in Mississauga, just before 6 a.m. after reports of a car found between a fence and a pole. Separate incident. Between a fence and a pole. Police said there was an interaction with a man, and both the man and a police officer had to be taken to a local hospital where they were treated for minor injuries. Police say the man is likely facing alcohol-related charges. At this time, it does not look like the SIU will be called in to investigate this incident. Editors know. A previous version of this story indicated that the SIU had invoked its mandate in both incidents. The story has been corrected to show they have only been called in to investigate the Brampton incident. They're both in Mississauga. Okay, whatever. So what timestamp is this one? So 2:15 p.m. And what is this one? No. $7:05 a.m. Okay, so with this one, Pickering shooting victim may be connected to Scarborough shooting. That's a fucked up picture, but that would make a good CD cover or something. A man found with gunshot wounds inside a vehicle in Pickering may be connected to reports of a shooting in Scarborough on Saturday night. Toronto police say they received reports occupants of a vehicle were seen firing a weapon at another moving vehicle in the area of Port Union Road and Island Road around 9 p.m. By the time police arrived, the vehicles had fled the scene. Well, they're moving, right? But investigators managed to find shell casings in the area. No bullets, though? Later that night, Durham police reported they found a man inside a bullet-riddled vehicle suffering from gunshot wounds in the area of Brock Road and Highway 401 in Pickering. He was rushed to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Police in both jurisdictions are now comparing notes to see if there is a connection. Toronto police also investigating 2 other separate shootings in the city last night. They're lumping all the stories together, so if you only look at the headlines, you don't realize what's going on. The first happening within the entertainment district at College Street and Dover Court Road around 11 p.m. Yo, Dover Court and College is not the entertainment district, is all I'm going to say. Police say the shooting happened inside a club, but no, there's clubs, but it's not the entertainment district, bro. Police say the shooting happened inside a club, but no injuries were reported. No suspect description has been released. How many shots? How many people got hit? Nothing. At around the same time in North York, police responded to reports of multiple shots fired outside a pizza place on Jane Street near John Street, just north of Lawrence Avenue. No one was injured in that shooting. Police are searching for a male suspect wearing a black hooded top who fled the area in a car. Oh, Danny Boy says, what goes around comes around. In brackets, bullets. It's all in the same family. And he posted that 5 minutes after it was updated. So let's see, what's this Scarborough thing? What's this? Hold on. Oh, yeah, okay, I don't need to read that one. This one. Police investigating after body found in burnt out car in Scarborough. Well, it wouldn't technically be a body, it'd be like remains, right? Toronto police, so that was today, 2:15 p.m., right? Toronto police are investigating after a body was found in a burnt out vehicle in the parking lot of Bluffers Park. Why didn't you just push it off the fucking cliff, stupid? Police say they're, fuck. God, you people are fucking new, eh? Police say they received a call just before 12:30 p.m. for reports of a vehicle fire in the Brimley Road and Bluffers Park area. Fire crews quickly extinguished the blaze, and that's when the body was discovered. Police say they are treating the incident as suspicious. No other injuries have been reported. Well, he's dead, eh? Or she. Danny Boy, the police should also find bullet holes. And once again, he posted that not long after. And then it says, "A citizen at Danny Boy." I don't know what this means. It says, "It's a rural area, so if they start picking up every bullet shell off the ground, it may delay the investigation for decades." I don't know how they figure that's a rural area. Bluffers Park ain't no rural area. But this is the dumb shit people say in this city when they get on the internet, eh? I know these idiots are from Toronto. You could think, oh, maybe they're from somewhere else. Just tell them, no, they're these idiots. These are Canadians that talk this weirdo shit. I think we just missed the business report.
Always encourage consumers to do research, compare the prices, because when we were doing that here at BBB, we noticed that some of the prices for the items were significantly, like at least $50 cheaper than it would have been at a more reputable or store. So it does raise the thought that the red flag that something is wrong.
And that's Carla Davis with the Better Business Bureau. And in the Business Center, I'm Amanda Warwick.
The Better Business Bureau in Toronto doesn't exist because they fucking embezzled all the money. It hasn't been replaced. There is no BBB in Toronto. A Toronto business says we're certified whatever by BBB. No, they aren't. No, they aren't.
Clothing is optional. You do know
this is the Better Business Bureau. Can you report on the fact that there is no Better Business Bureau here?
Serious about sports and fully clothed. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on Sportsnet and Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
License 10349. It's a slap in the face. Your bank refused your mortgage. Don't get mad.
Call Northwood Mortgage.
Northwood Mortgage takes a closer look at your financial picture, property equity, past records, the promise of performance, and more. Northwood Mortgage does everything they can to approve the mortgage you need. That's their business. Northwood Mortgage. Visit NorthwoodMortgage.com.
We're working harder for you.
This is your weather station, 680 News.
In Brampton, light rain, 3 degrees. Markham, overcast and 3 as well. Pickering, seeing some cloud cover, 4 degrees. Uxbridge, possible light rain throughout the day, 2 degrees. In Richmond Hill, light rain, 3 degrees. Oakville, overcast and 5. Right now in downtown Toronto, light rain and 4 degrees, but feeling more like 0 with the wind chill.
We made it to the top of the hour, eh? Let's see if they got anything for us.
Canada app. The app works with their connected dashboard and with smart speakers, including Amazon Echo and Sonos. Download the free app today. It's where Canadian radio plays. 680 News Time, 9 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Good evening. This is Sunday, November 10th. I'm Casey Taylor.
And I'm Eden Dibaba. Here's what's making news this hour.
Well, if you're on military time, it's actually Remembrance Day
Will be a
already.
nightmare. Record-breaking snow on the way, and now is the time to prepare. The Field of Honor in Prospect Cemetery is the final resting place for thousands of veterans. We're taking a look at the legacy some of them have left behind. Don
My
Cherry
dad
under fire
and his parents are
again
buried in
after
Prospect.
Complaining he rarely sees people he believes to be new immigrants wearing poppies ahead of Remembrance Day.
And while Ron McLean and Sportsnet have both apologized, Don Cherry seems to have gone off the radar.
The Lakes continue to trail in Chicago.
Off the radar, he's nobody, eh?
With LeBron, TFC
He's
falling
a
in the
fucking
MLS
nobody.
Cup
Where do you
final.
know him
The Vikings
from?
have the lead
The
on Sunday Night
CBC,
Football,
government
Sports at
fucking media,
And coming
playing
into business,
fucking
some
hockey. Get
Canadians
the
are
fuck
already
out
in
of here.
holiday shopping mode. We'll hear from a partner at Deloitte Canada about how much consumers plan to spend and what they'll give for deals.
680 News Time, 9:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Central. So some very good news. We had a crash on the
Yes, it's
southbound
Central.
427 just south of the 401. It's
Warrior
gone
State
now.
versus the Lower
that was backing
Sacramento.
things up from the 401 ramps, both directions, east and west, off the 401 onto the southbound 427. Crash is gone. We just have construction now dealing with the 427. So northbound is at Rexdale, right lane blocked. So the Rexdale ramps to the highway are closed. Southbound 427, the construction is blocking the right lane through Derry. So the Derry ramps to the highway are
Fucking
also
holes all
closed.
over my
And then
fucking
once you get
legs
down
and
through
arms.
Burnham Thorpe and the collectors, they've got the right lane ready to shut down here. Construction vehicles are in it and ready to start working. Southbound 404 construction now at 16th Avenue. It's right lane work. Northbound 400, it's at Mapleview. It's a left lane of construction. Westbound 401 now, some maintenance happening at McCowan in the collectors. The left lane is blocked. Eastbound 401 so far hasn't been touched by any construction work. Located within Toronto's Tech Hub, featuring high-tech residential amenities.
What is the Tech Hub,
Central
bro?
is the latest tech development by Concord. Register now at centraltoronto.com.
Where the fuck is it? We don't have a neighborhood in Toronto called Central.
Here's Michelle Mackey.
Potential for some scattered flurries this
We don't
evening,
have a
but
tech
bigger
hub. The
story
whole fucking
comes
city's
Monday
wired up.
as record-breaking snow looks to blanket the GTA. Widespread 10 to 20 centimeters, but the western end of Lake Ontario closer to 20 with lake enhancement. Not a good idea to drive if you do not have snow tires on. Monday's high is -2. Tonight's overnight low, -3. Right now in downtown Toronto, light rain, 4 degrees, and at Pearson Airport, cloudy and 3. 680 News Time, 9:03.
Winter officially starts on December 21st, but Mother Nature's not waiting. Environment Canada issuing a winter weather travel advisory for Toronto.
Areas immediately west of the city under a snowfall warning, and daily weather records for snow and cold could be broken Monday. 680's Michelle Mackey reports. The most amount of snow ever recorded on November 11th was 3 centimeters back in 1983. Monday, we're expecting 10 to 20 centimeters of snow. The lowest temperature on record is -8, set in 1937. Monday's low is -9. So yes, these records are likely to be shattered thanks to a developing low-pressure system tracking south of the lower Great Lakes. The snow looks to start pre-dawn and last through the night Monday. The morning commute will be a nuisance. The evening commute will be a nightmare. The earlier you can leave, the better, but there is no escaping the drive home. By that point, heavy wet snow will be accumulating on the roads and winds will be picking up, creating very low visibility. Now is the time to plan your day. I'm Michelle Mackey.
680 News Time 9:04.
Now is the time to plan your
Commentator
day.
Don Cherry is in the limelight once again, this time for an on-air rant about immigrants and Remembrance Day poppies. 680's Monica
Plastic,
Gould
eh?
reports his comments
What do you think
on
plastic
Coach's
stuff
call
is
last
made?
night prompted swift online backlash and now an apology from Sportsnet.
Sportsnet President Bart Yabsley issuing a statement this morning calling Cherry's comments discriminatory and offensive. He adds the network has spoken with Cherry about the severity of the issue. The 85-year-old lamented last night that he's seeing less people wear poppies to honor fallen Canadian soldiers, and he singled out those he believes are immigrants in Toronto.
You people love, you that come here, whatever it is, you love our way of life, you love our milk and honey. At least you could pay a couple of bucks for poppies or something like that.
His comments drawing outrage online, with many calling for his firing. Sportsnet is owned by Rogers Media, which is the parent company of this radio station. I'm Monica Gould.
2 media companies in Canada. That's it.
Co-host Ron McLean is finally speaking out against Don Cherry's immigration rant last night. McLean taking to the air tonight, saying that he sees hockey as a sport that should unite Canadians.
Don Cherry made remarks which were hurtful, discriminatory, which were flat out wrong. We at Sportsnet have apologized. It certainly doesn't stand for what Sportsnet or Rogers represents. We know diversity is the strength of the country.
He continues to say that he's sorry for letting Don Cherry's words go unchallenged, saying that the show failed his viewers. Don Cherry, meantime, has yet to say anything about the remarks, let alone apologize.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News at 9:05. This portion of the news brought to you by Menkes. As we get ready to mark Remembrance Day across the country, we're taking a look at some of the most famous soldiers resting here in Toronto. 680's Leah Johansson reports Prospect Cemetery, also known as the Cemetery on St. Clair, is home to the largest First World War veteran section in Canada.
The Field of Honor is the final resting place for more than 5,300 veterans, including Walter Lee Rayfield. He served as a private in the 7th Battalion, and when his company was held down under fire, he rushed the trench, handling German fighters and taking 10 prisoners. He also took the position of the enemy sniper, leading to the surrender of 30 others. Rayfield was awarded the Victoria Cross Medal in 1918 and later achieved the rank of captain. The World War I vet was born October 7th in 1881 in England. He died in 1949 at the age of 67. Prospect Cemetery will be holding their annual Remembrance Day sunrise service at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning at the Cross of Sacrifice on the Veterans section. I'm Leah Johansson.
The first Canadian feature-length documentary film with sound was centered around the First World War. 680's Save Kaiser joins us with that story.
Flaming heralds of death tore viciously into the earth, rending it with devastating fury.
Lest We Forget was released in 1935.
The infantry leaped from their trenches and the great attack began.
They made it using news footage of the First World War, early graphics, and reenacted battles.
The Canadians plowed across no man's land into the enemy trenches. Enemy machine guns tore through them, but with little heed to conditions or casualties, the Canadians pressed on. The German forward defenses were quickly stormed.
The movie follows several Canadian battles, including Vimy Ridge and Passchendaele.
Long lines of Canadians moved ahead.
You can watch the full movie on the Library and Archives Canada YouTube page. I'm Save Kaiser.
As the Reds fall to the Sounders, Toronto FC's hopes at another MLS Cup have come to an end. Sportsnet 590 The Fan's Brent Gunning takes a look back at their championship run.
Well, Toronto FC was in the midst of an 8-game winless streak. Few people would have expected to see them playing for a title, but after a second-half run that included a 13-match unbeaten streak, the Reds were able to make it back to another MLS Cup final. Once again, it was Seattle waiting for them. Unlike the first two times the team played for a championship, it was Seattle's turn to play hosting the game at CenturyLink Field, the home of the Seattle Seahawks. Nearly 70,000 people were in attendance for the Sounders' 3-0 win. This marks their second MLS title. Toronto FC has picked up the honor once. For Sportsnet 590 The Fan, I'm Brent Gunning.
680 News Time, 9:08. Warning, the following story deals with mature themes, and some listeners may find the details to be graphic. Here's something you probably didn't know. There's a relatively popular sex doll brothel operating in Mississauga. Faizan from City News has the story.
They don't speak or move, and some may find them creepy. To others, these high-tech sex dolls made out of silicone provide a service, and each one has a name.
So this is Anna. Anna's one of our more popular dolls.
The new owners of Aura Dolls didn't want to appear on camera, but opened their doors last month in Mississauga.
Clients can have full intercourse with the dolls. Some of the clients actually just come in, lay the doll down, and just sit back and watch a movie. Like I said, a lot of these clients are very socially awkward.
How many clients would you say you've had so far?
Oh, we've had over 1,000 clients easily since we've opened. Yeah.
In just a couple of weeks?
Just a couple of weeks, yeah. Just
Whoa!
This is the second time Aura Dolls has attempted to
I want to
operate
rent
in
my
the Greater
fucking
Toronto
inflatable doll. Are
area.
you serious?
In Mississauga. I'm Faizan for City News.
Coming up in 30 seconds, we'll check the price at the pumps. 680 News Time, 9:09.
This is 680 News.
Here's to Toronto. Here's to those who never stop cheering. To the lovers of dinosaurs, birds, and leaves. To those who drink cold beer on a cold day. To those who bleed blue. Here's to Ed, Roy, and Alexandra. To the theaters that take us to another place. Here's to the many that never accept second best. Memphis.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Ampro predicts the price will not change at midnight, holding steady at $1.16.9 a liter at most GTA stations. Coming up in just 1 minute, traffic and weather together. 680 News Time, 9:10.
Are you self-employed? Unlike a lot of banks, Prudent Financial has lent money to self-employed for decades, along with people on disability, after bankruptcy, proposal, and many other credit challenge situations. Reasonable payback terms and a loan that works towards restoring your credit. Own a car or a home? Get a loan. Call 416-634-2020. 634-2020. PrudentFinancial.net.
On November 11th, Canadians from coast to coast observe Remembrance Day. It's a time to remember the brave men and women who stood up for our country in her time of need, so that today we can enjoy the freedom that so many of us take for granted. On Remembrance Day, Unifor Local 414 urges you to wear a poppy, and then take a moment to give silent thanks to all the courageous Canadians who fought for our country's freedoms. This special reminder comes from the members of Unifor Local 414.
680 News Time, 9:11. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Shoppers Drug Mart. So just some construction out there. Westbound 401, it's through McCowan, and it's in the collectors, and it's in the left lane, and we're not seeing any delays through here. Just a touch under speed, maybe 5-10 kilometers as you go through this construction zone, but no delays whatsoever. All the routes are actually up to speed, even with the construction on them. Northbound 400, it's at Mapleview, left lane's blocked. Southbound 404 through 16th Avenue, the right lane's gone with workers. Northbound 427 at Rexdale, right lane is closed, so the Rexdale ramps to the highway are also blocked. And South 427, it's through Derry in the right lane, and the Derry ramps to the highway are also closed. Through Burnham Thorpe now in the collectors, just hearing they're going to be closing down the left lane and working through here. Southbound 410, they're also at Derry, the HOV, and the left lane is closed. But again, no delays anywhere. We still have a closure of the eastbound 407 ramps to the 427 in Bathurst, but not really causing any problems. Now until Friday, November 15th, get 20 times the PC Optimum points when you spend $75 or more on cosmetics at Shoppers Drug Mart. Restrictions apply, details in store. Your next report is at 9:21, and with the forecast, here's Michelle Mackey.
A cold night in store with the potential for some scattered flurries. Tomorrow gets worse. The high only -2, and snowfall warnings in place for parts of the Golden Horseshoe. City of Toronto under a winter weather travel advisory. This is for 10 to 20 centimeters of snow across the GTA. And the snow won't melt anytime soon. Record-breaking cold sets in Tuesday with a high of only -4. The overnight low tonight, -3.
Downtown Toronto right now, we are under some light rain, 4 degrees, feeling like 1 degree. Similar conditions over at Pearson International. 680 News Time, 9:13.
It only takes one person to change the world. The Maclean's Power of One podcast brings you the gripping stories of 6 unsung heroes who made history, from the World War II double agent who saved D-Day to the greatest financial whistleblower of all time. This special 6-episode series, produced in partnership with Frequency Podcast Network, is brought to you by the latest season of Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, only on Amazon Prime Video. Subscribe to The Power of One for free at frequencypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do me a favor and turn the Napoleon on.
Oh, fireplace?
No.
Barbecue?
No, the Napoleon furnace. It's so cold, the dog is wearing the cat.
Wait, Napoleon makes furnaces?
Yep, and they're made in the snow belt, right up there in Barrie. Built for Canadian winters and to the same high standards as their barbecues.
So you have a Napoleon for every season?
Yep, the ultimate Canadian home.
Trust Napoleon to keep your home warm in the winter and cool in the summer. And for a limited time, play Spin to win for a chance to win your furnace. Check it out at NapoleonHeating.com. This is All News Radio, 680 News.
It's a white rain, 4 degrees, feeling like 1 degree. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Casey Taylor. Here are the top stories this hour. Anywhere from 10 to 20 centimeters of snow and a low of -9 tomorrow's weather could topple records. But with the almost day-long snowfall, it could also cause a lot of trouble on the roads. The city already under a winter travel advisory from Environment Canada. And that means a snowy, cold Remembrance Day. So make sure you bundle up if you're heading out to any outdoor ceremonies tomorrow. The usual crowd is expected to gather outside Old City Hall ahead of the 11:11 moment of silence. 680 News Time, 9:15. Time now for 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here is Colin Teske.
Casey, after a rough first period for Michael Hutchinson and the Maple Leafs in Chicago that saw them give up 4 goals in the frame. Pick things up in the third, 4-1 still for Chicago.
Leafs have it in the corner. Nylander coming out at bat. Scores!
Joe Bowen with the call on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Nylander's second of the game, now a 4-2 lead for Chicago midway through the third period. Injury update on Mitch Marner. He'll be out 4 weeks with an ankle injury that he suffered against Philadelphia last night. Norm Powell gets the start instead of Kyle Lowry. He's joined by Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, Marc Gasol, and OG Anunoby as the Raptors tango with LeBron James and the Lakers. That's a 9:30 tip-off. It's the first of back-to-backs against LA teams as Toronto will face the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard tomorrow. TFC fell 3-1 to the Seattle Sounders in the MLS Cup final. Josie Altidore with a lone goal for TFC. Meantime, happening now, Sunday Night Football. It's the Minnesota Vikings on the road taking on the Dallas Cowboys. They have a 14-0 lead early in the second half. First half, Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour, or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
I have your coffee. What's wrong? I'm just stressed. I have to move 200 people to the 4th floor. Call by Design. I have to find moving bins, install workstations, old furniture removal. Call by Design. Find an IT team, storage, and hang pictures. Call by Design. They do everything. Everything? Well, everything except getting your people to stop popping the bubble wrap.
By Design Commercial Moving Solutions. We move small offices to large warehouses and everything in between. When you look good, it's By Design. Contact us at ByDesignOfficeMovers.com.
Being an entrepreneur means finding partners who align with my business vision and my values. And with the help of BDC, I've succeeded in building a solid company that I can really be proud of. At BDC, being the only bank exclusively devoted to entrepreneurs means fully understanding our client's vision. So when we help you build your business, it's a business we can both be proud of.
Go further with BDC. BDC. Financing, advising, smarts.
680 News Time, 9:17. The rise and fall of the Roman Empire has been fodder for historians for centuries. And now a new study on the DNA of ancient Romans reveals fascinating information about how cities grow.
The new study on the genetic makeup of ancient Romans shows great cities of the world owe their success to the influx of people from elsewhere, says researcher Alfredo Coppa. Coppa is part of a team from Stanford University, the University of Vienna, and Rome that studied 127 human DNA samples from several dozen sites in and around Rome, dating from the Stone Age to medieval times. They found the city's huge expansion and dominance 2 millennia ago was fueled by people coming in from outside the area of modern-day Italy.
from Turkey to North Africa. COPPA says without the influx of migrants, Rome would never have reached the heights it did. The team is now studying the evolution of traits like height, lactose tolerance, and resistance to widespread diseases that persist today, like malaria. Megan Williams, ABC News, Rome.
680 News Time at 9:18. New research points to the potential benefits of cannabis for the treatment of post-traumatic stress. 680's Mark McMahon is discussing the findings with a UBC researcher.
What these scientists have done here is look at pot use among those suffering from PTSD by examining Statistics Canada data. They found those who don't consume cannabis are 7 times more likely to experience a major depressive episode than users.
The next step is really for us to do those controlled trials, and I'm happy to say that we are putting the finishing touches for a study looking at cannabis for PTSD at UBC, and hopefully we'll be able to announce that new study early in the new year.
That's Dr. M.J. Malloy, a research scientist with UBC. I'm Martin McMahon.
Iran has begun pouring concrete for a second nuclear reactor at a key power plant.
Iran's deal with Russia for a nuclear power project at the Bushehr plant goes all the way back to the early 90s. The plans were put on hold when Iran entered into the nuclear deal with the US and Western powers in 2015. Since the US pulled out of the deal last year and Europeans have been unable to help Iran sell its oil elsewhere, Iranians have been reneging on certain commitments in the deal, blaming the other parties for not keeping their end of the bargain. The Bushehr power plant will add 1,000 megawatts to Iran's power grid. The plant is supplied with Russian uranium via a subsidiary of the state-owned nuclear corporation Rosatom. Julia McFarlane, ABC News at the Foreign Desk in London.
Coming up in just a minute.
I live next door to a fuel pellet plant. No shit. GE Hitachi. 1025 Lansdowne.
Attention sun-deprived deal lovers. Winter is coming and you'll need an escape plan. Sunway has 5,000 all-inclusive vacations left at 40% off, including Bon Air. 5,000 vacations may sound like a lot, but saving 40% really is a lot. Book now and prepare to vacation better. Bon Air. Once a visitor, always a friend. Hurry, call your travel agent or visit
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Steve Brown here. We've got another City TV update. Thursday nights, catch the all-new comedy, Perfect Harmony. You loved him in The West Wing, and you're still not sure how you feel about him in Handmaid's Tale, but you'll adore Bradley Whitford in Perfect Harmony. He plays a depressed music professor who stumbles into helping out a church choir to find their voice. It's hilarious, it's surprising, it's Perfect Harmony. Thursdays at 8:30, 7:30 Central on City TV.
680 News Time, 9:21. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by your Toronto area Ford dealers. Everything's up to speed, just dealing with a bit of construction on the highways. Eastbound 401 has nothing going on. Eastbound 407 ramp to Bathurst and the 427 closed off tonight. Westbound 401, they've got the left lane blocked through the Collectors and McCowan because of overnight construction. Not seeing any delays though. Westbound 407, they are working on the ramp to Bathurst. You can still use it, but they've got the left lane blocked off. Northbound 400 at Mapleview, left lane closed here as well. South 404 at 16th Avenue, it's the right lane that's going on. North and South 427, no access from Rexdale.
This is why my fucking internet records show all sorts of shit I don't actually look at.
427 at Rexdale off to the right side and through Derry on the southbound 427 off to the right
phone,
lane. At Burnham
it's
Thorpe
the
and the Collectors on the
goddamn
South
website.
427, they're also working
How can you be clicking a link that ain't even on the fucking screen, eh?
Derry and the HOV.
The one I'm tapping on is the
Get
one
0% purchase financing up to 72 months and a winter performance package on all new 2019 Escape models. Visit findyourford.ca. Your next report is at 9:31, and with the forecast, here's Michelle Mackey.
If you think it's wintry tonight, wait until tomorrow. Snowfall warnings have been issued from Oakville through to Niagara. A winter weather travel advisory for Toronto as record-breaking snow looks to blanket the GTA Monday. 10 to 20 centimeters expected, closer to 20 for the snowfall warned areas thanks to lake enhancement. It looks to start around 4 a.m., so the earlier you can leave, the better. There is no escaping the evening commute. Monday's high is only -2, but Tuesday, potential for record-breaking cold with an expected high of -4 and wind chill of -11. Wednesday, sunshine, but another frigid day with a high of only -2. Tonight's overnight low is -3.
Downtown Toronto right now, some light rain, 4 degrees, feeling though like 1 degree. Similar conditions over at Pearson International. Coming up at 9:30, a days-long snow and cold temperatures could topple a couple records tomorrow, and with 10 to 20 centimeters of snow expected to fall throughout the day, a warning for your commutes into and out of work. 680 News Time at 9:23.
The Carpenters District Council of Ontario reminds you that on November 11th, Canadians across our land will bow their heads in silent praise for our courageous veterans. With this act, we thank them and thank those serving in our armed forces today. On this Remembrance Day, everyone is encouraged to take time to honor the memories of our Canadian heroes for their courage, their sacrifice, and their service to Canada. A special message of remembrance from the Carpenters District
I
Council.
love how you type extra words in that I'm not typing in.
Breaking news.
I know. You guys control everything. I don't need this digital shit, so I don't know what you control.
Online and on any device. This is 680 News.
680 News Time at 9:24. This just into 680 News. One of the Leafs star forwards is out for at least the next month. Sportsnet reporting Mitch Marner will miss the next 4 weeks minimum with an ankle injury. That does also mean he can go on long-term injured reserve, and that will keep the team from a cap crunch until he is ready to be reactivated. 680 News Time, 9:24. TTC closures continue this weekend as crews work to install the automatic train control signaling system. There's no subway service on line 1 today between Bloor, Yonge, and Osgood stations. Shuttle buses and wheel trains are running, and staff are also on scene to help customers. All stations are open to purchase fares and
all you stupid people come from claiming to be related to me, man.
To honor Canada's fallen soldiers. The TTC says it will pause all service tomorrow starting at 11 a.m. All lines will close for 2 minutes. The TTC says all crew members of the Canadian Armed Forces, veterans, and peacekeepers will be able to ride with one companion free of charge. Coming up in 60 seconds, the Business Report, 680 News Time, 9:25.
The world needs visionaries, teachers, leaders, but the world also needs these guys. Garner Andrews, Bryce Kelly, hosts of the Lawn Chair Prophets, a podcast for all the lands. Behold, as they discuss the minutiae of everyday life for the comfort of some woven fabric folding lawn chairs. What's the pettiest thing you've been dumped for? How weird is that weirdo you work with? All will be answered on the Lawn Chair Prophets. Download and subscribe with your favorite podcast player and at frequencypodcastnetwork.com. Find your frequency.
All we said was William Ashley and...
The William Ashley Warehouse Sale? It's finally here! I love the William Ashley Warehouse Sale. 20 departments, 25,000 square feet. It's Toronto's most iconic warehouse sale. Come on, let's go!
You can't have this much fun shopping online. The 44th annual William Ashley Warehouse Sale returns with up to 90% off tableware, kitchenware, and home decor by all the famous brands you know and love from William Ashley. Sale on now. 111 Credit Road, Highway 400 in Langstaff.
680 News Time, 9:26. Time now for the 680 News Weekend Business Report.
I'm Carl Garnett. 'Tis the season for some to begin holiday shopping in a year where we have fewer days to get something special for friends and family. According to Deloitte's 2019 Holiday Retail Outlook, 79% of Canadians expect to spend the same amount as last year, if not more, while almost half are looking to check gifts off their lists before Black Friday. Marty Weintraub, national retail leader and partner at Deloitte Canada, says the data also shine a spotlight on how keen men are to begin shopping compared to women.
They're shopping a little bit later, and actually what's interesting is that there is a correlation between when people start shopping and how much they spend. Probably about a 10 or 15% additional spend for those that start shopping earlier.
With some retailers offering special promotions and discounts in exchange for our data, Weintraub says Canadians are careful about how much personal information they're giving away.
Surprisingly, 23% of Canadians did say that if their data was not protected, i.e. if they found out that their favorite retailer succumbed to a data breach, 23% of those Canadians said they would never shop at that retailer again. Nonetheless, people are sharing their data. They don't share data equally. They are, much less comfortable as you get closer to financial history and address information. They're a lot less likely to share that. But when it comes to things like gender or postal code and ethnicity, they're a lot more comfortable.
With Legal Pot officially one in the country, Weintraub says cannabis is expected to be on some Canadian shopping lists.
Only about 2% of Canadians said they would spend part of their holiday budget, part of that $1,700+ that they said they would shop would be on cannabis.
Can you just do what I'm telling you to fucking do?
So it's not a bad number, 10%, considering it's only been 1 year, but it's a very small amount of spend right now. And we expect that to change this year as edibles, concentrates, and topicals are now legal. And over the next couple of months, we'll see those products hitting the market as well.
Marty Weintraub is the national retail leader and partner at Deloitte Canada. At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnash.
So what's your job? You rate investments? You invest? You just rate investments.
Like a car that doesn't suit your lifestyle. That's why Toyota offers the fun-to-drive Corolla with available winter features like heated seats and heated side mirrors. Find the Toyota that's right for you. Lease the 2020 Corolla L for as low as $57 weekly at 2.99% APR for 52 months with $0 down, or finance at 0.49% APR for 36 months. Visit your local Ontario Toyota dealer or get your Toyota.ca. Some conditions apply.
This NHL season, Mr. Conn Smythe, Ryan O'Reilly is lighting it up on Sportsnet, while insider Elliot Friedman is breaking it down on Sportsnet. Where we at, King Henrik? On Sportsnet. When news breaks, you want to hear Berkey's hot takes.
Motherfuckers, eh? I can't believe I spent that much time typing answers to dumb people. But I have to, because they're claiming to be fucking related to me. Hi, I'm a retard, but I'm related to you. Can you people not be, you're on the damn internet, but you're not typing in what you think you know to find out if it's even true, eh? How many shootings was there? They don't talk about it on a long weekend, eh?
The stories in the building better show the respect. Fuck a tough guy, tough talking on the internet. Fuck that, you wanna talk to this. Mental snitch. If the people working proof enough, I don't know what it is. You know what it is. It's that 1323 shit. All your shit talk got you sinking in.
How about another ham sandwich? Captain O'Malley.
Find yourselves aside. Difference between me and you is that I'm a gangster to rap. And you just gangster rapping, dog. Don't act surprised when it happens. My homies know for bagging victims on me.
Warrior. You got a dragon on it, eh? You got a lion. There's a lion, I don't fucking know. That's nice and dirty, huh? Wipe the people in case you get away, but you might not, eh? I'm all about a homicide.
I'm a hustler every day up on my grind. You must be up to mind, talking like you hold the tech knives, take lives. Yeah, you live in the fantasy, know in reality. Maybe you just don't know who you're fucking with.
Allow me to introduce myself.
My name is the kid. Call me Billy One Shot, but the shot hit your ribs. From this race,
you only take one shot to kill.
Yeah, I promise blood to spill. Hit the curb quick. Why you holding the gun with shaky hands, acting on nervous? Could it be that inside just a little bit, baby?
Just a little bit. I don't know what I got here. I'm missing some money here. Oh, there's some in my pocket. I think. What do I got here? No, this is that's Australian and Greek. Hold on a second. I got real money here somewhere. I know I do. Oh, I ain't spending that one. I might spend this one. What's this? What are these? Why am I saving these? Fuck, I just forgot what I counted over there. This one is a woman in a wheelchair on it playing curling. I'm keeping this one. I've never seen that before. I don't know how that's possible. I don't know how that's possible. It's from 2007. 12 years. I've never seen one of these. Fuck, what did I just count? 7, 8. All right. Don't worry, the coffee shop loves all this change, eh? The coffee shop loves my change. The beer store loves my change because everything's in 5 and 10 cent increments at the beer store. And every time somebody brings in 1 can, 2 cans, 3 cans, there's 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. They got to have nickels and dimes for that shit, eh? I don't know what the fuck happened to this. I want to keep it, but we'll see if I got enough. I think I got enough here. I can keep this one. I get damaged coins sometimes, corroded all to hell, where they shouldn't be corroded and shit. I collect all sorts of stupid shit. You know, there's American change too. There's 20, 30. Oh shit! Am I about to spend that one? Hold on. Well, I guess I am. Fuck it. Year of Volunteers dimes. I set them aside, the nickels too, for the church, but the church ain't gonna be open for 3 days, and I need a coffee. So what do I got here? $5, 90, and 80s, $1.70. Hold on. No, I dropped something somewhere. I know I have such a hard time counting this little change. Never have this problem with bills. That's because there's 9 dimes, not 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I'm still counting wrong. Motherfucker, there's 1. Laugh at me, it's all good. 25, 50, that's at least enough for a coffee. 60, 70, 75, 80. I was right. I was right. I only need 175. So fuck it, let's play a little game. People write things on coins and shit. I gotta spend this one. It's a 2004 nickel, and the whole fucking edge is ground off and rusted, but that can't happen with these coins because they're nickel plated, eh? Somebody dipped this in acid or oven cleaner or something. I'm gonna give this to the girl at the coffee shop, eh? I could stay online, but there's not much point. What am I gonna do? Tell you the same news I already told you? Smoke the same joint I already smoked? I'm gonna go do something. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. All right. Okay. Don't get caught. All right. That's all I can say.